Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I do load a new video. And if you could also comment, like, and share, that would be amazing. So we are going to do our May sinking funds in my DIY Erin Condren Happy Planner Hybrid Budget Planner. And this is made of some Erin Condren paper that I just ripped out of a academic planner that I had. Some regular Happy Planner paper, Happy Planner discs, monthly calendars that I picked up from Walmart. They're the kinds that you typically hang up on the wall, and then just some regular binder style dividers that I just cut down for this. And so for today's video, we're going to be just recapping everything that went in and out of my sinking funds account. Now I do have a separate account that I track this. I would love to have the envelopes to stuff and unstuff as needed, but it's just a lot easier for me the way that I spend to track it on an online account. So it's actually a debit account that I earn a percentage back if I use that card. And because it's just an account, if I look at it, it just gives me a balance. It doesn't actually break it down. So this is the only spot that I have to kind of keep track of it. But ultimately, I just need to know what the balance is, because if I need to pull from here, pull from there, I mean, it's just the one account. And I don't want to have 8 separate accounts to have a clear line item, you know, this equals this. I do like having the freedom that, all right, ultimately when I checked just right before I started filming this is what's in the account. So all of these things should equal up to this. Now, if something happens, because let me backtrack. A sinking fund is a savings account, sort of, or just putting away monies for things that are anticipated, but maybe not in your particular month. So when I do my monthly budget, I know that I'm going to be doing cash envelopes, sinking funds, and hopefully a snowball payment. Now, where it got a little bit tricky this month is I had it unbudgeted here because it came out of this particular account, but I also have an unbudgeted line item here. So it just basically, for accounting purposes, I'm just trying to track what account it hit. But this isn't something like every month I pay my iTunes, or if you're doing just monthly expenses, or for my cash envelopes, I'm not tracking those things in a sinking fund, and I'm not putting money towards a sinking fund for just regular known expenses that happen every single month. These truly are for expenses that you know will be coming up. Like I had a bunch of medical appointments in May, and I don't have another one until July, so I can just start building up that account again. I do giveaways every month. Again, I'm just building up that account. Now, when I set up June, there is going to be a variance to that whole expected but not regular payments, because I will have one that is actually going to be regular, but because it's tied to this account, that's why it's going to happen, but I'll talk about that later. So these are my starting balances here. So I started out the month with $309.43, and you can see there was quite a bit of spending, because on the 20th paycheck I put $151.23. We'll have this negative in a minute, and that is what is in the bank account as of right now, or the online debit account. It is through Discover. I do have a Discover card, which is on my snowball chart of credit cards to pay off. I do have a debit account that I set up with them, and my savings is also through Discover. So I can look on the one app for all of these things, and I just find it super convenient. Now, the way that I have this set up is because I I don't know that I'll always have multiple expenses during the month, but because there might be, I have a section down here, and I do have a free printable on my blog, and I will link that below, where I can account for the different expenses so that when it comes up here, it is truly just the totals of everything that happened, because I don't know how to track this otherwise. I don't know how other people do it unless they do it because they're doing envelopes with cash where they're just doing a running total on that. But because mine is purely on paper, this was the best idea that I could come up with. So what I do is each of these have a number. I hope you can see that. And so when I log in the transactions, I do this corresponding number so that when I start totaling things up, I can just add the totals in these boxes right here just to try to keep it as easy for myself as possible. So for beauty, we have no number ones, so that's a 0 there. We can write that already. And gifts, there were no number 2s. It looks like For Non got a lot of action, so that's a 0, and that's a 0. So 1, 2, and 3, there's no 1, 2, and 3 here. And let's see, for number 4, that's medical. That's this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now, when I did my cash envelopes last week, I had put medical expenses, because I do have a $10 bill that's due on my medical account online, and this was 4 blood tests that I did. This is just my portion, and they sent me the bill, but I never actually paid it this last week, and because it's not coming out of this account, I will actually just pay it next month. I mean, I'm not late, it's not due until June. I just wanted to get it out of the way, but it didn't happen, and because this is a true balance of what's in my account that I will be carrying forward, I didn't want to muddy the waters. And same with this, I was going to pay this here with this card, but I never got to it. It was just a busy week at work. So these will be line items that I will be doing next month. So we've got those 4 there. So 0, 0, 0. And then for medical, we've got 11 plus 20 plus 20 plus 23 equals 74. And where did I put it? Oh, visually, I just want to get rid of it so that I don't keep looking at it. And then for planning, I did do that Joann's haul. And so that one was $51.23. And then unbudgeted, oh, I spent a lot on unbudgeted. So that's that one, and that one, because we're not doing these. So let me just get this visually out of my way. So 2467 plus 1360 plus 1987 is 5814. So get those out of the way, and then that just leaves us one of 4189, and that was. Now last month I said I'm going to stop putting money towards my business supplies because I do have a bank account that all of my Etsy sales goes in. However, yeah, that didn't happen. So we're going to keep that one because, as I've mentioned, I have no consistency in my Etsy sales. So I can't really rely on that right now. And that's something I'm working on. You know, this is all a work in progress, but I do want to be able to have some money funneled away. But when I talk about the monthly recap for me, I can talk a little bit more about that. So medical, we look down here, and that's $74. Had lots of doctor's appointments this past month. Unbudgeted, yikes. Oh wait, planning. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, planning stuff I already put there. Sorry, I'm missing. And so if you wondered why I did the 151.23 when I usually put the 100, it's because of that Joann's purchase. I wanted to kind of put some extra money in there because I really shouldn't have purchased the things, but I really wanted them. All right, so for unbudgeted, we've got 58.14, and then for planner supplies, or yeah, planner supplies, we've got 41.89. All right, so this is, and I've already taken the 151 and divvied it out because I've learned the hard way to do the math off camera. So, and I mean, I'm hoping this math actually works out, but I've figured out this math at least because, sorry about that. If I try to figure things out on camera, one of two things happen. I either get really frustrating or I'll start crying. So, because I am frustrated. So I've learned that lesson. So that's the breakdown of the 151.23. So the ending for beauty is $47. We're not putting anything towards gifts, and when I do my March or my May recap, I'll talk about why. So that's 136.05. We're adding, I'm pretty sure it's going to come out to $42.65, but just to be sure, $37.65 plus 5, yep, $42.65. Now this one we're going to be doing some math. I'm sorry, I have two phones. I have the phone that I film with, and I have my old phone that I sometimes use as the internet or a calendar while I'm filming on my phone, and apparently people are favoriting my shops. Now, if you ever hear a cha-ching, that means I made a sale, but otherwise, they're just favoriting things, and they must not know I'm filming today. So, 62 plus 20 minus 74 means, oof, we have a whopping $8 in our medical sinking funds. But like I said, I don't have another appointment until July, so I'll be able to bump that up because my co-payment is always $20. So $20.83 plus $35.40 minus $51.23 is $5. So we have a little bit of money in that account. $22.54 plus $27.30 minus $58.14 is $8.30. Is that right? $22.54 plus $27.30 minus $58.14 equals all right. It's 1987, 1360, and 2467, because I thought when I did this before, I wasn't negative in any category. Yeah. Well, hopefully the math comes out. 22.54 plus 27.30 minus 58.14, 8.30. Now we started the business supplies category with negative, so negative 1164 plus 58.53 minus 41.89 is $5. All right, so let's add up our expenses. And just to be consistent, I'll put brackets. I mean, it already says minus up here, but yeah, maybe that'll help me. So 74 plus 51.23 plus 58.14 plus 41.89 equals, yeah, definitely tons of spending this month. All right, cross your fingers, guys. Here's a moment of truth. 309.43 plus 151.23 minus 225.26, 230. Hey! Yes. Okay, that's, yeah. I'll need to work on that because I don't really want to go into a new month with a negative amount because this is actually one that's going to have a fixed expense. But again, I'll talk about that at the monthly recap. But that plus that minus that equals that. That equals that, right? 47 plus 136.05 plus 42.65 plus 8 plus 5 minus 830 plus 5. Yeah, so somehow when I was doing my pre-math, I should have added more for my unbudgeted, but that's okay. This is where we are. This is what we spent. This is what we added, and this is what we started out with. So yeah, and I already know from that 235.40, I've got those two things coming up in June because I need to pay that. But I'm hoping there's nothing much else. Yeah, if anything, I might have to hit my beauty account. I'm about halfway down on my foundation, and I use the Estee Lauder one, and so that's $42 right there. So yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last me. I only use one pump. If you use makeup, then you know what I'm talking about. But I use only like 1.5 pumps a day for every working day. So it lasts pretty long. It's just, yeah. I like to have my backup stock on hand so that I'm not scrounging because I do not like to leave the house without my face on. Yeah, so guys, sinking funds. And I honestly, sometimes I think I make things more complicated, but I need to try. To me, I could just do this up here, but then how else would I account for what the minus column was if I don't account for it down here? So yeah, and then down here, because I'm doing it as the transactions hit, it may not be in in order. So that's why I have this here. The thought process is there. I don't know if I'm making this just more difficult on myself than I truly need to. But there's our sinking funds for May. I will be setting up the sinking funds for June. I actually haven't done anything for June, so I will be doing that. And then you'll see that number again, and hopefully next month it's just going to be a better month expenses-wise. Although, to be perfectly honest, I did spend quite a bit of money this month, but it's money that I had and money that did not go on a credit card. So while I am beating myself up, I'm also going to just be thankful that I have this opportunity to do this. Because again, as I mentioned in my second paycheck for May, I know there are people who are just struggling to pay their bills or to put food on the table or to pay the light or, to have secure housing. So I absolutely understand that this is a luxury, and I'm thankful for it, and it did its job this month. So while I do want to be better and not use the unbudgeted as all right, go buy the things, it's there, and it does prevent me from having to use a credit card. So Yay. Small wins. Small wins. Right, guys, and with that encouraging motivational message, that's it for me. And as always, aloha.